Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming this morning, I am surrounded by Black Girl Magic from the Institute for Careers and Leadership Development, the lovely Dr. Carolyn Davis. Good morning.
Good morning.
From Houston Community College. Well, good morning to you. From Houston Community College, the lovely Shanell Foster. Good morning.
Good morning.
And from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, Ashley Dedman. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all? Everybody's doing well?
Doing
Very
good.
well. We're so glad to be here.
Yes,
I'd like to
yes.
thank you so much for having us on your show.
Oh, well, thank you for being here because when Henry hit me up about having you on to talk about the Teen Summit on Health, Bullying, Finance, and Leadership, I said, this is right up my driveway. Forget right up my alley. This is right up my driveway because
Yes.
I have a soft spot for our youth. I mean, as cliche as the saying goes, our children really are our future. And the kids
Definitely.
these days, you can't just tell them anything and they accept it.
Exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So, Dr. Davis, can you tell us about the Institute for Careers and Leadership Development for those who may not be familiar with the organization?
Well, this is a nonprofit organization, 501c3. It's actually my community service piece, whereas I tackle those tough things. You know, I read an article once, and when I was working on my doctorate, that said that often we leave a lot of the needs of the community up to the educators, up to K-12 educators, and we put a lot on their shoulders. And the question was asked, why is it that we do that? We all need to be involved with our youth. We talk about college readiness. We think that college readiness is an exam, is a test, and we blame K-12 when students come out of college and they're not ready. And so in looking at that, it said that we really need to rally around our youth, the community as a whole. So part of what the Institute for Careers and Leadership Development does is we look at those statistics and look at those issues in our community, and rather than say, why aren't you all fixing this? Why aren't you all doing this? We say, why don't we do it? And so we look for partners to come in to help us because it's such a big job. You know, when we think about teen health, for example, we look at all the statistics. I can rattle off several facts about, teen suicide as it relates to bullying.
Get out of my head because that was
Yes,
the
I know,
first thing that popped up in my
But
head.
let me just say that, the Institute for Careers and Leadership Development is a conduit through which we would like to pull the community together to be able to tackle some of these issues and not blame anybody, but come together to make some noise, as you may say in radio, but also to come up with those solutions.
And with that, you have come up with a Teen Summit, which I'm so glad that Teen Summit is back. I remember growing up, BET had kids, for those that are listening this morning, kids way back in the late 80s and early 90s. There was a program called Teen Summit that used to come on BET, and they would address the issues of Black adolescents in America. And it was a cool and it was a fun show. And then once the Johnsons sold it to Viacom, the first thing they did, got rid of Teen Summit.
Yes. Our
Cut it
teens just ironically you would say that, but actually Tamar Davis is the one that came up with the College Career and Empowerment Summit. And that is her platform. She's a R&B artist.
Yes.
And so she came up with that based on the fact that BET no longer provided that for the community. So we kind of coined our events on that.
Well, I'm glad because we need things like this. So the Teen Summit is on health, bullying, finance, and leadership, and we have Shanell and Ashley with us. So what made you ladies be a part of this, and what are your roles with the program?
Well, my name is Shanell. In my role, we're going to be taking on the financial literacy portion of it. And so that's my passion, talking to the youth and helping them understand the importance of understanding how to manage your money so we can promote financial literacy, generational wealth, and leave legacies for, the future.
I'm glad that I have a money person here. All the money people that come on this show, I always ask them this question. And so I would like to know what your response is. When it comes to financial education, financial literacy, where do you feel that the responsibility mainly lies? And I ask that because, and I use this as an example. 18 years old, freshman on the college campus, a table set up. Hey, you want this T-shirt? You want a stuffed animal? Nice, shiny. Okay, great. Fill out the form, get the T-shirt or the teddy bear. About 10 days later, there's a credit card in my mail. And I'm like, oh, I can get some books down there, maybe, and then have enough over maybe for some CDs. Oh, the bill comes. I'm paying the minimum and steady paying the minimum, but not getting anywhere with paying the minimum. And then, credit just ends up somewhere else. So in high school or just in school period, elementary, I remember them teaching us about checking accounts and how to balance a checkbook. But no mention of credit and how important it is and how it can mess up your life for life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so, in the Black community, a lot of times when mom and dad is at the kitchen table handling the bills, hey, this is grown folks' business. You're going over there, not really a big involvement with, money and understanding or respecting money. So where do you think the responsibility solely lies when it comes to financial literacy and education and how to manage money?
So to be honest, I really believe that it starts at home as soon as possible. So for instance, that's even taking a trip to the grocery store. Your kids are there helping them understand to compare prices, helping them understand and letting them handle the money. Budgeting, exactly. So it starts early on. It's as soon as they can understand and count numbers, it's no age is too soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And, but I'm sorry to go off on that tangent. But go ahead, continue with your role with the Teen Summit on Health, Bullying, and Finance and Leadership.
Sure. So the Financial Coaches program at HCC, and we're going to have the session on financial literacy. And during that session, we're basically going to help the teens gain a better understanding on how to manage their money. We'll also give them an opportunity to talk about some of the financial challenges that they're facing right now. We'll have a panel there to kind of guide them, give them some best practices and some advice. We'll also have games. We want to make it fun because it's teens, so it's going to be interactive and fun. They won't even know they're learning, so but they'll be learning. Absolutely.
Make a new song to 2 Chainz. It's a vibe.
Something, exactly.
So they can. Right. I mean, I get it.
Yes, absolutely. Indeed. But we'll be doing the financial literacy piece and helping teens understand that there are consequences and responsibilities that come with managing money, having money. So.
Indeed. And Ashley, your role and how did you get involved?
Well, I'm with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, and let me say we are excited to be a part of this Teen Health Summit. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas is a statewide organization, and we are always looking for opportunities to collaborate with community organizations that are moving the needle in public health and impacting the lives of adults and children. And so, in fact, this partnership with the Teen Health Summit aligns with our community investment strategy, and a few of the teen topics discussed at the summit will be around COPD, asthma, and other lung diseases.
Nice. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Dr. Davis from the Institute for Careers and Leadership Development. She's having the Teen Summit on health, bullying, finance, and leadership on December the 2nd, and it's going to be
at Houston Community College, the West Loop campus, located at 5601 West Loop South.
Okay.
Right in the heart of the city, and it's from 9 a.m. until 2:30. The exhibits will remain open till 3 o'clock. So we're there, and thanks to our partnership with Blue Cross Blue Shield, we have the Texas Caravan that's going to be there offering free meningitis and HPV.
Yes, HPV immunizations.
Yeah.
And may I add, Dr. Davis, we're servicing ages 13 to 19, so please bring your shot records. Parents of those 17 and under, you must be present for the immunization portion of the summit. If you're 18 to 19 years old, you may sign for yourself. And if you're 18 and 19 years old and have previously received a meningitis dose with our Caravan program, you can receive your second dose. And most importantly, like Dr. Davis mentioned, it's free.
It's free. So parents, if you're listening, please come out on the 2nd, on Saturday, to take advantage of all of the opportunities offered, especially with these vaccinations. I mean, the meningitis really hits home for me when I was growing up. When I was in high school, my brother up under me, he had spinal meningitis. Wow. And we didn't know what was going to happen. And I just remember us doing shifts and staying at the hospital. And I just remember one night, me staying overnight at the hospital with my brother because he had this. And now with HPV on the rise, and when I read this article, I think it had to be, maybe it was over the summer, about, healthcare providers and physicians recommending to parents that they get their teens this vaccination because, this is on the rise as well.
And it affects both male and female teens. So.
And it's something that there's no cure for it. Right. However, they do have the vaccine for, if you don't have it that way, you cannot get it. But if you already have HPV, then you have HPV. Yeah, so this is very, very important. And I love that you all chose these four topics to focus on for the Teen Summit: health, bullying, finance, and leadership. The first two being very prevalent today, with healthcare still being on the forefront. And, those folks in Washington, they are still trying to get rid of it, even though now that the open enrollment is about to end, it has been the highest since its inception of Obamacare. And so I just don't get that. And then the bullying part, because we live in social media. And everybody they're thumb thugs, these cyber crips and broadband bloods, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And depression tags along to that, because we hear way too many stories of teens taking their own lives because of, ironically, the pressure of social media. I was just seeing this morning, as a matter of fact, how social media is directly linked to adolescent depression.
Exactly. So we're going to be talking about that. We have a teen talk on the whole aspect of bullying, mental health matters.
Yeah.
Mental health in the classroom, dealing with issues in your classroom. We don't really understand that today, how much our teens are faced in terms of, of course, you have the social media, but also just peer pressure.
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, I didn't know anything about designer stuff. It didn't matter.
Right, right.
But today, all of that matters, and so we want to talk about that. So we're going to be we have panels of doctors, medical doctors, licensed professionals that would be here, and I would like to thank our partner, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, because they were very instrumental in helping us to garner those doctors and those professionals that's going to be able to answer the tough questions for our teens.
And this is so important, because what I have experienced with my interaction with teens these days, they just want somebody to listen to them.
Definitely. And I think to Dr. Davis's comment, having that panel to be able to speak to the different issues, being able to focus on mental health, having a doctor speak on our heart health, our mental health, our just in everything, having our physicians speak on asthma. I know for us, that is, again, one of our community investment strategies. Asthma health is very important. Our lung health is very important.
Why is that on the rise? I've never heard of so many asthma or children with asthma now than ever. Like, do we know why that is?
There's 5% of Texans suffer from COPD, and COPD is a combination of lung diseases ranging from asthma, emphysema, and chronic bronchitis. And I think there's a lot of factors that play into that, some environmental and others that are just high-risk lifestyle behaviors, smoking, things of that nature. And so for us, these two conditions are impacting the lifespan and the quality of life and the productivity of Texans, which is why we're focused on these initiatives and why it's important that the children at this Teen Summit learn about not only these conditions, but other conditions so they can make informed decisions regarding their health.
Indeed. Oh, man, this is so amazing. Go ahead.
Yes, and I'd like to also add that Ms. Dedman was very instrumental, too, in connecting us with Texas Caravan, because that was, I think, the icing, I will call, on the cake, because when you talk about the free vaccinations and immunizations, because a lot of parents can't afford it.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents don't know that this is a need. To get into a community, any college now, you have to have your meningitis shot. So our teens, our juniors and seniors really need to come and be a part of this so that they will be ahead of the curve. And one of the things that I've learned is that you cannot just take the shot today and enroll in class next week. You have to wait a period of time.
So there's a whole process that is needed. Wow, I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to let my militant mind go somewhere else and not invoke. But I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that still all of this systemic oppression, just all of these hoops that you have to go through, especially people of color or people who live in poor communities. All of these hoops you got to jump through just to get something as simple as healthcare.
Exactly.
I'm like, how can you live with yourself? How can you be a human being? I ask this question all the time. These folks in Washington is trying to take away people's health care. Literally, you're going to kill people. Literally. Like you're going to kill people.
We need to move the needle forward, not move it backwards.
Yeah.
And so, I agree with that. And then the other thing is that's why we are hosting this summit. We need to get the information. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
And so,
definitely.
People think that is cliche or it's just a statement, but knowledge is simply power.
It's real.
If you know, even if you have the condition, if you know about the condition, you can manage it better. If you don't have the condition, you can avoid those risky behaviors.
Yes.
And so one of the panels is on, making these choices that affect your life. Pregnancy, the
HIV/AIDS,
the opioids,
the opioids.
It's all, and we think that medicine doesn't in the cabinet doesn't hurt. But there are people who are collecting these drugs to keep you from keeping them.
That's right.
The cabinet because there are people who are kids who are looking at that as a way to get high, and they're dying.
And and to that point, there's some I had never heard of this young rapper, but it's so sad that he just recently died. Actually, he died last night, I believe. Just 21 years old. Wow. His name escapes me, but he was the top trending topic on Twitter. And I'm like, I've never heard of this kid. But apparently he was dealing with some depression and had turned to the opioids and too much, and now he's gone.
Wow. We need to have this conversation.
Yes.
So, Teen Talks is going to be real.
Yes. So save the date for Saturday, December 2nd, 9 until 2 at the Houston Community College Southwest campus. That's 5601 West Loop South here in Houston. They are going to have the Teen Talks, as Dr. Davis just said. And Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas is going to provide these meningitis and HPV vaccinations. Mrs. Foster from HCC is going to be on the financial part of the discussion, teaching about financial literacy and financial education. It's something important that you all need to be at. Everyone needs to know, and everyone needs to be at. And anything else that the people should know?
I would just like to say that I would like them to know who is being on hand because they're offering screenings. Of course, we have Ms. Dedman, our community relations from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, Shanell Foster. We have Miss Ayani Pradia, who is hosting a Million Kids March Against Bullying. She will be on the panel.
Okay.
Dr. Rubina Abral, Dr. Sharonda Taylor, Miss Glenda DeMoss, Mr. Hiram Hall. Ms. DeMoss is with Pearls of Change. Mr. Hiram Hall is with the City of Houston Health Department. Ms. Frankie Andrews, who is actually the head of the Caring for Children Foundation, who will be providing the meningitis and HPV. Latanya Miles, the Health Museum, will be there. Ms. Kimbra Multi, Memorial Hermann Health Nurse Healthline. ABDA, there we're talking about abuse, both domestic and other abuse. So they'll be there, domestic violence and abuse. Pam's Kids will be there. They were talking about teen pregnancy, children, awareness of autism,
which is very important.
Down syndrome, and how to work with schools when they have to talk to the diagnostician about those students in special ed. And so we really have a wide range of folks.
Yes, it is a one-stop shop.
Really good
These
lineup.
are just heads of
really
panels.
good
These
lineup.
are not the people on. So
Right.
we have a lot of people.
Lot of people, lot of information. So be there on Saturday. It is absolutely free. That's the best price. Free 99. Not even the 99.
And we have great refreshments, great door prizes. Matter of fact, some cash door prizes for those who register.
See?
So free registration. Can I give that information?
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask, where can they register and get more info?
You can register on Eventbrite. I'm looking for that. And it's eventbrite.com/e/Teen Summit on Health, Bullying, Finance. But you can also register at www.thetheicld.org. But again, you can register on Eventbrite, and of course, if you need to call us, you can call us at 800-536-7499.
One more time.
800-536-7499.
Okay. And save that date for Saturday from 9 until 2 at HCC's Southwest Campus. That's 5601 West Loop South here in Houston. Dr. Davis, thank you so much. We are out of time. We've talked the whole segment. I was like, Shanell Foster from the Houston Community College, thank you.
Thank you.
And the lovely Ashley Dedman from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome.
Master Smooth.
You're too kind. And thank you for listening to Access Houston.